Hello. As a South Australian that deeply cares about my state and the people in it, I want to take a moment to talk about this young man that died 2 months ago in May 2021, and I'll show you a bit of this news report.
On the side of the Augusta Highway, they found the body of Isiah Johnstone Hodshon. Police say the 20-year-old was struck by a vehicle while walking home to Stirling North from Port Augusta. By the time emergency crews arrived, nothing could be done to save Isiah, who was only a few kilometres from home.
The impact on the community is a major impact. You know, we're looking at a young life, a lot of time ahead of him.
Major Crash Police spent several hours trying to determine exactly what happened. So far, no vehicle has been located. Police say it's possible the driver didn't realise they'd struck Isiah at the time.
If you're aware that you've been involved in a collision with that pedestrian, come forward because it's only a matter of time and we'll be coming to speak to you.
Okay, I have some comments I'd like to make on this, and there are some questions I feel that must be asked. Alright, now this news article is 2 months old. This is from the day after, and it says they're investigating if it was a hit and run. Now, well, I think it's safe to say that's what it was. It was a hit and run because the driver has not turned himself in. Now, the reason I say this is because I believe this is the mother that lost her son on the 30th of May 2021, and she is pleading for the driver to turn himself in and for anyone with information to come forward. And this was posted to TikTok yesterday. It is the 30th of July now. And how the police officer said it's only a matter of time, so then that would make me think that they're putting time into investigating who killed this young man with their car. Because to me, it's like, it's a hit and run, so it seems like the person would be running until you catch them. I'll have to make a completely separate TikTok to show what I really think, but I've got another bit of this news clip I want to show you just to try and keep this one as fair as I can.
Many residents aren't surprised an incident like this has occurred here. They say this part of the road is used as a walkway between Port Augusta and Stirling.
Alright, so it seemed like the people that lived in that community kind of felt like they knew something like this was going to happen because it's a highway, so it has a high speed limit. Probably not very well lit, and there are people walking along it. Now, I don't know what improvements you need to do to the highway to make it safer, or what changes need to be done, but I know that it'd be a better use of this money. Just saying, as a tax-paying South Australian. And just, yeah, my heart goes out to the family for their tragic loss, and if anyone knows anything, come forward, call Crime Stoppers. Alright, first of all I just want to say I totally get the thought process behind these comments. I totally get where they're coming from. We were reading it as if the comments by the police of saying the driver wasn't aware they hit somebody, we're taking that as the driver wasn't aware their car made contact with anything at all. I don't think that's what it meant. I think they mean more of like the driver may not have been aware that they hit a person, and they may have thought they hit something else, like an animal or something. And we got to remember to keep this in context of I showed you a news clip from the day after. And you see now, the driver failed at their duty to stop and give assistance in an accident. That's got a penalty of 5 years imprisonment. That's very hard for you to see, but it says there that a defence for that charge is if the driver was unaware of the accident. Which to me, I believe should only really be a defence if you somehow really weren't aware it was a human being, and once you then worked out because, you saw something on the news the next day about something that happened on a road you drove down, then you'd go hand yourself in. But really, it doesn't even matter because it's been 2 months now, so no matter what situation it was, it looks worse and worse as time goes on. So just if the person wasn't instantly aware but came aware later and still hasn't turned themselves in, or if the person somehow is still unaware that it was them, they might still be driving around like that. See what I mean? And one final point I want to try and quickly make with this is any defense that might come with actually handing yourself in for something like this, if you're aware it was you and all that, the longer it takes, it can't be a defence. no, you're causing pain to people. And so I really hope the police are putting time and looking for the person who failed their duty to stop and give assistance at the scene of an accident. And I'm still being really gracious and saying it's all an accident. And so, other than just being a person that cares about people, when a mother that has lost her child appeared on my For You page asking for information from anybody who saw anything, doing what the police's job is. And so I felt the need to also try and draw attention to it, other than the fact that I've also driven down that highway. And I knew the least I could do was try and use my platform. Because the reason I'm on the internet, my first YouTube video was about how I noticed that police did not do much to help solve crimes with Aboriginal victims. And we're talking about children that were killed in the 90s, but here in South Australia we're still looking for the Beaumont children.